There were really two possibilities, a hung jury or guilty. And a little optimistic part of me, a little hopeful part of me, a little part of me that believes in the American justice system said, all right, I know it's New York, but, you know, New Yorkers are actually pretty savvy. And in fact, Debbie and I were talking about this. We're like, there's probably going to be maybe one, maybe two of these New Yorkers who are like, I smell a rat. I may not be the biggest Trump fan, but guess what? This is a railroading. This is ridiculous. This makes absolutely no sense. But no, we often find, and not just in the Trump case, we see this in January 6 cases as well, is that when you have a rabidly biased system, in which the prosecutor is winking at the judge is winking back. You've got a jury that is in no sense a jury of your peers, but a jury really of your haters, people who are like rubbing their hands with glee at the chance to get you. This is a recipe for disaster. This is a recipe for show trials. And what do we mean by a show trial? We mean by a show trial that there's not impartial deliberation. There is not a sense of, hey, we're going after this guy and we're going after him in the same manner as we would anyone else who did the same thing. This was the key point, by the way, when my own case came up years ago, is I said, well, you know what? I'm no expert on the campaign finance law. I guess I did exceed the campaign finance law, so I should get whatever penalty it goes to anybody else who did this. And that's when the government, in this case the Obama administration, in this case the Southern District of New York, not so fast, we're going to go after you. Don't worry about anybody else. We're going to do what we can to you. And interestingly, we had a meeting with Trump after I got my pardon. This was in the fall of 2019. And I said to Trump, I said, you know, thank you, Mr. President, for the pardon. And he goes, I knew your case was rigged from the start. He goes, and now they're going to try to do the same thing to me. And at that point, we thought it was a reference merely to the impeachment process. And of course, there were impeachment number 1 and then impeachment number 2. But I don't think that Debbie and I or Danielle, any one of us over there thought that, you know what, Trump is actually going to be facing criminal liability that puts mine to shame. And he's going to be facing serious prison time. And they're going to use this as their weapon of choice for the 2024 election.